very closely. If you don't have belief, if you don't have hope, if you don't have faith, you ain't got nothing. The first level to success in the classroom, the first level to success in school, the first level to success in sports, the first level to success in life. Listen to me, the very first level is you seeing it.
All right, YouTube, you know we have to make sure that we begin our sessions with some type of motivation, because that is what life's all about. In order to do anything, we got to be motivated to do it. So hello, this is Demetria Farewell coming to you week 6 Code Crew Chronicles. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to talk about what happened this week, some reflections for the week. So some of the strategies that I employed for learning this week, I employed muscle memory this week. So what I did basically was I got on my computer and I was typing. I typed the code. And so I'm trying to get my fingers used to typing out code so that I can actually know where and when to put my different curly braces, my index, my indentations, and on whatever code that I'm doing, I need to learn to make it work. So that was my learning strategy this week, as well as on my way to work. I still listen to the radio or listening to anything else that I may listen to. I actually just turned on my YouTube video on whatever concept we were going over that day, because the teachers usually give us what they're going to go over, and I would actually read that material that night, and on my way to work I would put a YouTube video on so that it wouldn't be foreign to me when I got to class, which works out better on my learning process. Next thing here is concepts. Well, some concepts that I'm still having a bit of trouble with is just wrapping my head around which code to use when. There are so many different things that we are working on, so many different techniques that we're employing. If we want to click a button, there's a code for that. If we want to make a game run, there's a code for that. If we want to turn off a function or make the function blink, there's a game for that. There's a code for that. So trying to get everything in order in my mind to know which code to use when, how to code my HTML, my CSS screen, my JavaScript screen, because we're working with all three now. The next thing here that I want to talk about is my weekly low. The weekly low was we were introduced to something called CSS grid. It is a technique by which you actually have to make a grid with so many boxes and so many different sections, sides, footers, headers, and you have to style that grid with CSS, which is a styling method that we have to use. And when you're styling a grid, you have to know what the fractions are of the boxes. You have to know the width, the height. You have to know the template grid. I mean, it's so many factions and so many different techniques that you have to know in order for your grid to manifest. It was kind of hard for me this week. It's still kind of hard for me to wrap my mind around the concepts. Like one is 1FR, which is one fraction, 3 fractions, and it has to equal up to a certain amount for each box or area that you want to style in order for it to be accurate. So I've had a little trouble with that, but my high this week is the fact that I am learning the CSS grid, and it does allow you to make beautiful projects. So once you learn it and dive into it, it is actually worth it. So real happy about that. Now, actually with my grid this week, on Friday, I was actually able to put the grid together, but unfortunately, I was not able to make it run. We were supposed to do a game where each time the buttons will push. I actually got my buttons and everything on there properly, which was great, and had to get everything in order, but it did not run. So, oh, I gotta work on that. Gotta work on that. All right, time spent. I spent about 2 hours per night as usual. And then again, on my way to work, I listen to my videos. My copy to create program is coming along. I'm just kind of sketching everything out on, just kind of sketching it out in my head on what I want to do. How will I make this affirmation page work? Do I want blinking lights on it? What do I want to emphasize? So that's what I'm kind of looking at on my copy to create program. Now, creativity this week. Basically what I did was I went to a code function this week on Thursday and got to talking to a lot of people about code and what it takes actually to sustain yourself in coding. And I was very happy to know that, it does take a while to learn. So, I don't feel so bad. And then some of the individuals were telling me also the older you get, it's going to be harder to comprehend some of the techniques. So, also went to try to actually get me a pair of glasses this week because I found out that half of the problem, or a fourth of the problem I was been having in class is I'm not able to comprehend or see the board. My eyes are flickering, and as you know, when you're having trouble seeing, even though you're writing up on the board and trying to write, your brain and eyes are not processing properly. So I did figure that out. So I really enjoyed myself this week. I'm just trying to get everything in order, and I just want to get good at this. I'm just not good as I want to be right now, and I have to learn to be patient with myself. So everybody have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and remember, we're doing that for each other. We want to help one another. That was one of the reasons why I always want to give some type of positive feedback, because I know that everybody's going through something. So have a wonderful day. And thank you, YouTube. Peace out.